Micronutrients are essential elements for plant growth and are only needed in small amounts. When plants come up short in micros like boron, copper, and molybdenum, that can cause negative effects in numerous plant processes.
The next micronutrient that we're going to talk about is boron. Boron is essential in pollen production for flowering plants. A key thing with boron is getting several applications out throughout the year. Due to its mobility in the soil, generally we leach out of the soil before we get maximum uptake of that nutrient. Therefore, it's a good idea to make multiple applications throughout the growing season on the crop that you're growing.
Like other micronutrients, boron does not translocate well within the plant, so it's most common to see a boron deficiency in the younger part of the plant and newer leaf growth. Visual deficiencies of boron will appear as a thickened, curled leaf and will also yellow and have an orange-red tinge toward the edge of the leaf. Overcoming boron deficiencies can be accomplished in several different ways. We can apply boron early season. We can also apply boron in season as a foliar or even through an irrigation type application. We want to be careful when making boron applications that we don't apply too much. Too much boron can cause boron toxicity within the plant. It can actually make the plant turn pale and white. However, in many cases, the plant can actually grow out of that boron toxicity issue.
The next micronutrient is copper. When we think about copper, we have to think about copper and the fact that it's one of the most immobile nutrients in the plant. So there again, we're going to see that copper deficiency up in the top part, the very new growth of that plant. And oftentimes it's going to be confused for disease, but it's going to have that yellow to twisting of the leaves. It's important to know that high organic matter soils actually tend to show deficiency more because the charge of the copper holds tightly to the organic matter. It's also important to know though that in sandy soils, copper becomes very mobile in the soil. It's a very leachable nutrient.
Best practices for overcoming copper deficiencies is to include copper in your overall fertility program. Make sure you check your soil test, understand where your levels are so you can address those in your program. Addressing copper deficiencies in season can be risky because copper can actually burn the tissue of the plant. The most fun micronutrient to say is molybdenum. Because the micronutrient molybdenum is sometimes a mouthful to say, it's very common to abbreviate it and we just call it Moly.
Moly plays an essential role in plants with the driving of the nitrogen synthesis inside that plant. Environmental factors to consider when looking at Moly and a Moly deficiency: a sandy soil is going to present more Moly deficiency potential, and low pH soils also present this. High applications of sulfur can also lead to Moly-induced deficiencies inside the plant.
Visually, Moly deficiencies will appear as cupped or rolled leaves with scorched leaf margins. Preventing or correcting Moly deficiencies can be done early at planting time or can also be done in season with a foliar application.
There are a lot of good micronutrient blends available on the market today, and probably our best bet is to use a blend of micronutrients either pre-plant or at planting to stay ahead of the deficiency. For more information on micronutrient deficiencies, please visit our website at agroliquid.com.